Good morning, students. Yesterday we started with the chapter The Black Aeroplane, and we read how the pilot during his flight was lost amid mountains of dark clouds. And he couldn't believe his eyes because the compass was dead, it would not work, and he received no answer from Paris control either. Now we will read the second part of the story. Then, in the black clouds, quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. So, suddenly, from nowhere, he sees an aeroplane, a black aeroplane, and he sees that there are no lights on the wings also, but he could see straight that it was flying next to him through the storm. That is, this plane was also stuck in the storm in the dark clouds. I could see the pilot's face turned towards me. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. So he was very happy and relieved to see somebody along with him in this dark clouds, and this pilot had turned his face towards the narrator of the story, and he was relieved and happy that somebody is there to help. And then this pilot of the other plane lifted one hand and waved to the narrator. Follow me, he was saying, follow me. And then this pilot of the black aeroplane instructed the narrator to follow him. He knows that I'm lost. I thought he's trying to help me. So narrator thought that this pilot have come to know that he has lost his way in this dark clouds and that he needs help. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in front of my Dakota so that it would be easier for me to follow him. So this black aeroplane, the pilot of black aeroplane, he turns to the north direction in front of the narrator's Dakota plane, and the idea was that the narrator would follow his plane. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child, and because the narrator was all helpless, his compass was not working. Moreover, the aeroplane was jerking and twisting in the dark clouds, and he could not get any control or help from the Paris control. So he was happy to listen to the instructions of this pilot from the black aeroplane, and like an obedient child he followed his plane to the north direction. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. So the narrator notices that the strange black aeroplane was in front of him, and he was following that strange black aeroplane like an obedient child to the north direction wherever it was heading. Now there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. Now the narrator, who was flying in old Dakota aeroplane, the fuel was only that much that could last for 5 to 10 minutes. I was started to feel frightened again. Now he was scared whether he would be able to reach his home or not. But then he started to go down, and has followed through the storm, and then he notices that the pilot of this black aeroplane has started heading down closer to the earth, might be a runway or something. So he followed the pilot of the black aeroplane, and he's following through the storm. Suddenly I came out of the clouds and saw two long straight lines of lights in front of me, and the narrator was safe. He comes out of that dark clouds, and he sees the two straight lines with lights on it, and it was a runway and airport. I was safe. The narrator was safe. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. Now the narrator was following this black aeroplane, so he try to locate where is this black aeroplane, where is the pilot. But then he notices that on the runway or in the sky there's no black aeroplane. There was nothing there, that is not on the runway, airport, or in the sky. The black aeroplane was gone. It was not there. I could not see it anywhere, and he was amazed and shocked that this black aeroplane, where did it go? And he could not locate where it was. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. So the narrator landed very safely from his old Dakota, and he was not at all sorry because the Dakota was in a very bad state with the engine not working, the radio not working, the compass not working. Moreover, it had twisted in the clouds, it had jerked in the clouds. So he was very relieved that he is safe from that plane or from the situation, and he heads towards the control tower. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. So the pilot goes to the women in the control room and questions where exactly he was, and he wanted to know about the other pilot whom he was following, the black aeroplane he was following. He wanted to know where that plane had gone. I wanted to say thank you, so he informs the lady that I wanted to say thank you to that pilot. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. So the lady who listened to the narrator was amazed and started laughing. Another aeroplane, but there is this storm. No other aeroplanes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. So the lady tells the narrator that in this storm there was no other aeroplane flying. Moreover, the radar showed only his aeroplane, that is the old Dakota aeroplane was shown on the radar. There was no other aeroplane flying that night in that storm. So, who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio and without any more fuel in my tanks? Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? So, the narrator is wonderstruck at the reply of the lady, and he starts wondering who helped him to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio or without any more fuel in his tank, and it remains a unsolved mystery.